Hi, my name is Charlotte, and if you want to watch a channel that provides tips, tricks, hacks, and etc. for an average home gardener with little to no land, then start now by clicking subscribe, ringing the bell, and smashing that bell icon. So today we have a guest. She's having her own YouTube channel very soon, and her name is Anna. We're going to be doing lots of collabs together, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And why don't you introduce yourself, Anna?
Hi, I'm so excited to be here. But before we get anything started, I want to say a few things. So, during this hard time, I hope all of you stay safe and healthy. Well, with coronavirus. So, let's get back to the video on how to plant tomatoes.
Thanks for introducing yourself, Anna. But before we begin, I want to first apologize for not posting a video for that long. It's just that I was very busy and we had a technical problem and everything, so the posting of this video was delayed. But thanks for being very patient. Okay, on with the show. So, as you know, tomatoes, when their hairs touch the ground, they produce roots. And in the wilderness, that helps a lot.
Why?
Great question, Anna. So, because in the wilderness, if they didn't do that, the wind would break their stem when it blows and they would die. So, when they produce roots, it keeps them steady on the ground. No problem. Anyway, so we're going to take advantage of that as gardeners, and since we plant it vertically and not horizontally, we are going to be burying the stem, cutting off the leaves, and burying that stem so we get extra roots. And so Anna, since she has her own tomatoes, is going to be showing us that at the end of our video, but I have a little experiment tomato that I wanted to show you guys, but it's outside right now, and it got eaten by the bunnies. So I took advantage of that fact. I was a bit clumsy, and when the wind was blowing, it blew a tomato in half, sadly. And it was the tallest tomato. So I used the top part. It still had the tiny hairs on it. I planted it into the ground, and it produced roots. Of course, the bottom part died because it didn't have enough leaves to produce photosynthesis for sugar. But other than that, the plant was doing okay. And then we planted it out because it had roots, but the bunnies ate it. We really need a solution for the bunnies. I think plastic rattlesnakes will do the job. Or perhaps a pet hawk eagle, but I can't get that. So, any other questions?
What if the seedling is too small for the pot?
Oh, Anna, I almost forgot to explain. Thanks for reminding me. So, yes, if it's not big enough, just bury as much as you can and leave an inch of stem. Leave an inch of stem, I forgot to mention that. And after you leave that inch of stem, you just want to don't fill up the whole pot. Then once it grows tall enough, you can just bury again. And if you're growing on the ground, not in pots, grow them in trenches, but only bury twice. Only bury twice, because you want them to spend all that other energy into producing fruits. Oh, and the first few weeks after you plant them out, you do not need to prune. Do not prune. We're going to be pruning later. I mean, I have to do it right now because you know the video. But do not prune a few weeks after you let them out. So after you let them out, do not prune. They need those, even though armpit leaves for energy. After that, you can go prune, but for now, do not prune. If you're planting this out when I'm getting the video released. So, about the root trick. It works best with indeterminate tomatoes, not determinate. And indeterminate tomatoes and determinate tomatoes, the difference between them is indeterminate grows and grows and grows and grows and produces and produces and produces until the frost comes and kills them. Or in my case, a bunny. Or maybe the frost, because we live in the Midwest. We don't have the best weather. Anyway, so that are indeterminate tomatoes, and they can grow very tall. Determinate tomatoes, on the other hand, determinate tomatoes, on the other hand, just grow to a certain height. They produce all their tomatoes in 1 to 2 weeks, and they die. So you can buy tomato cake for that. This root trick works best in indeterminate tomatoes. Anyway, so Anna, any other questions? Why don't you show us your tomatoes?
Yeah, my tomatoes are right over here. The first tomato plant that we planted was the yellow tomatoes. It's the biggest tomato is about like this size. Then the little ones are about this size. Then the next tomato plant that we have is the Super Sweet 100. And this plant has one big tomato, but yeah. The next tomato plant is Chef Jeff's Original. This tomato plant doesn't have any tomatoes, but it does have some flowers on it, some yellow flowers. And the very last one, but not least, is Chef Jeff's Whooper Tomato. Different name, same company. And like I said, it has the flowers, but no tomatoes. So those are my tomato plants that I grew. Yeah. And once your tomatoes are all nice, red and juicy, and ready to eat, you should make that delicious sandwich and put your tomatoes in it that you grew. And that's all for today.
Oh,